Excited about the win. I thought Vanderbilt came in here with a lot of momentum, obviously, coming off a huge win over LSU, and you could see they really played well. Being down at halftime was tough again because we had the lead. What was the biggest lead for us in the first half? It had to be 6 or 7. Anybody know?
8.
Yeah, and we've got to do a better job protecting that. But give them credit. They're very well coached. They run a lot of good stuff. I thought we came out in the second half and really did a good job being aggressive. Nick got that layup to start the game. Then he hits DJ for 3, and all of a sudden we're up 1 instead of down 4, and really built some momentum. I thought Reggie obviously had a tremendous all-around game with 4 blocks, 6 assists, got on the glass, was 3 for 5 from 3. I thought that Nick had one of his best games of the year, as well as Tyson. They were huge, and again, it was a tough, hard-fought game. We had too many turnovers. We got to cut down those turnovers. We'll see a 1-3-1 zone that's trying to trap and force turnovers on Tuesday, and so we've got to really do a good job, handling the pressure and using pass fakes.
Go ahead and lead off with Garrick here. Let's lead off with Garrick, and then we'll go to Paul.
Ben, is there any update on Abdul after he left?
Our team doctor checked out his shoulder and said it's stable. He doesn't think he's going to be sore for the next day or two, but that we're anticipating he's going to be okay, and I'll be praying.
Go ahead, Paul.
Coach, seemed like you subbed in more guys in the first half tonight, and noticed Molinar got in there pretty quickly, and you kept rotating guys probably more than the norm.
Yeah, we got to continue to do that. That's something that you'll see for the rest of the way.
Coach, at one point early in this,
Prince actually sprained his ankle today in our live walkthrough, and but I think he's okay. He came in and gave us solid help. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry, Coach. At one point early in that second half, y'all had outscored them 24-9. Is there anything that you can point to as like a turning point or a key moment that led to that big scoring outburst for y'all to give y'all back the advantage?
I thought that we came out with great toughness and got stops. So we were getting the ball out in transition to the point where we had a couple, we were going too fast and had some turnovers that we can't afford. But we're at our best when we're getting stops, quick outlets, and pushing the ball. And then I thought Reggie did a nice job. I don't know how many threes he had in the first half, but I know he had at least 2 in the second half. And, those were big. The one that went in and out from the corner would have put us up 14. I was sure hoping that one would have stayed in as well.
I know if you'd, got things the way you'd want it, you'd rather not have to dig out of some of these halftime deficits and things that you guys have had. But do you take some solace in the fact that it doesn't seem like this team ever blinks when they're down? I mean, they're always in it. It doesn't seem like that there's any give, I guess, even when you're down at half.
We show good mental toughness in that respect, and that's big, I mean, you just keep fighting, you keep battling, you keep displaying toughness, you play as hard as you possibly can, and good things are going to happen because we got good players.
It was a tough night for Robert offensively, but it didn't seem like it affected the other parts of his game. He was still rebounding, blocking shots. Is it positive to see that that he didn't let it affect him?
Yeah, I really thought he did a good job considering that, and he had a couple shots going. I think I thought there were a couple of them. It was just tough for him, but he's all about the team first, and you end up you look at his board play. He's second on the team in rebounding tonight, and showed a lot of toughness and grit for his team and his teammates.
Anything else for Coach before we let him go? Let's go ahead and get it to Anthony, and then we'll go to Tyler to wrap it up.
Coach, that Vanderbilt team y'all just played, they're 1-9 in the SEC, but they don't play like that at all. I'm just curious what you think about that team.
Well, I told our team, the first thing I told them is I have tremendous respect for their players and their coach and coaching staff, because there's zero quit in those guys. And even when we had the lead, they kept battling back. It was a 6-point game there in the last, few minutes of the game. I mean, Reggie made a big block, I think, when we were up 6. I mean, that thing, was a hard-fought. 10-point game doesn't really, I don't think, show how close the game really was and give them credit. And they're going to win more games in our league this year for sure. You know, they're doing a good job, and you know they got young kids that are playing really hard, and they're hard to defend the way they penetrate and kick. And again, they miss 3 or 4 open threes where if they make them, I mean, who knows? I mean, open in both halves. So you know, I'm thankful.
We've obviously talked about Reggie a bunch on this run that he's been on, but I mean, the points, the rebounds for you, what's been the most impressive thing? You talked about his blocks, his assists. You know, what during this stretch that he's been on, what's kind of wowed
I think
you?
tonight was an incredibly complete game. You know, with 6 assists, 4 blocks. You know, very efficient. You know, very efficient from the field. I mean, you know, he scores 25 points on 10 shots. That's efficiency at its best. Knocks down all his foul shots. You know, he's doing a tremendous job. And I thought his defense was really good tonight. And he's playing it through the double teams better. You know, they're doubling, he's getting out. Really made some nice passes tonight.
Nick, you guys have another halftime deficit tonight, but come out of the halftime roaring again. I know you'll take a win, but is it getting a little old having to fight back, it seems like, night after night?
Yeah, it's getting old. I don't like coming out like behind and stuff like that, but I mean, it makes us come out harder. But we really need to start like trying to avoid that, and that's some of the things we talk about before the game. It's just how things go. So I mean, we're trying to get better at that though.
Reggie, it looked like when they went to zone, it was starting to give you all a little bit of trouble, but you were able to sort of shoot them out of that. Just what was Coach Allen telling you about the zone defense, and how important was it for you, especially you, to hit your perimeter shots?
Coach Allen was just telling us to keep the ball moving and try to get the ball to the high post, try to stretch out the defense, and me hitting those shots just, I feel like, helped us make them get out of it.
Nick, sticking with what they were saying about y'all getting off to a slow start, you ended that first half with just 4 points, but you ended up with 21, 8 or 9, and that 21 points is tied for, well, that actually is your season high. What did you see that they were doing defensively that made you more aggressive? Because it seemed like in that second half you were really attacking their defense a lot more.
Like the first half, I don't really try to like come out aggressive. I try to let everybody get a touch and get those guys going. But my coaches during the halftime, they tell me a lot to get aggressive. So that's one of the things I try to do. When I get aggressive, a lot of things opens up. So that's one of the things I try to do coming out second half.
Ken, questions for the players. We'll get the microphone to you. Let's go to Garrick, and then we'll get it to Paul. Actually, we're going to go to Paul first, and then we're going to go to Garrick. So let's get to Paul first.
Tyson, you had another good game off the bench. Obviously, I don't think it was. I'm sure Woodard would say it wasn't his best game of the year. What's it say about this team where you guys are starting to pick each other up, and it's a different guy every night, aiding that scoring column?
Well, everybody on this team know that we got a lot of weapons. So just night in, night out, anybody could, step up and give us a boost. So that just shows the depth that we have offensively.
Go to Garrick in the maroon.
Nick, were you a little surprised that Coach Stackhouse wanted you to shoot the free throws when Abdul got hurt?
Oh, yeah. I know my percentage is, like, pretty high for the season, so I was expecting, like, somebody else. But, I mean, if you want to give me 3 points, then I'll take it. So.
Reggie had 6 assists tonight. Without looking, I'm going to assume that's probably close to your season high, maybe a career high for you at Mississippi State. Thank you, Paul. Early on in the game, did you feel like you needed to be a little bit of a facilitator out of that double team?
I really just felt like early on in the game, we made some good back cuts, some good back screens and stuff like that. So I just tried delivering the ball. Just got to try to get that assist to turnover ratio down a little bit.
Tyson, that first half, the ball was crisscrossing the court. I don't think he hit the floor at all. How bad did you want to hit that layup and just didn't quite come up with it?
Yeah, it hurt when I missed that layup because that was going to be a big-time play with all the ball moving and stuff. But, they happen sometimes. So.
Good to Anthony here, middle, second row. A couple more questions for the players before we get Coach Allen in here.
Reggie, at one point in that second half during that big run, y'all were shooting about 89% from the field. What do you think was the key to how effective y'all were offensively and How y'all able to shoot the ball so well?
Really, a lot of it has to do with what we did on the defensive end. That helps out a lot. So we can get in transition. When you get out in transition, make good decisions. Our percentage is going to be high, and I feel like we moved the ball really well offensively and got some good looks.
Anything else for the players?